India has officially responded to the United States' decision to slap a 25% tariff on Indian goods, a move triggered by New Delhi's continued purchase of Russian oil. The Indian government has called the action unfair, unjustified, and unreasonable. In a sharply worded statement issued on August 6th, the Ministry of External Affairs said that India's oil imports are driven by market logic, not politics, and aimed at safeguarding the energy security of 1.4 billion citizens. It is extremely unfortunate, the spokesperson said, that the U.S. has chosen to impose tariffs on India for actions that several other countries are also taking in their own national interest. The response comes just hours after President Donald Trump signed an executive order penalizing India with an additional 25% tariff, citing its continued purchase of Russian oil as a threat to U.S. national security. India has repeatedly defended its engagement with Russia, maintaining that energy deals with Moscow are legal, transparent, and essential for price stability in the region. The move has set the stage for a possible escalation in trade tensions between two strategic partners. While Washington accuses India of undermining sanctions on Russia, New Delhi says it's being unfairly singled out. The Indian government has now warned it will take all actions necessary to protect its national interests. Though no retaliatory measures have been announced yet, analysts say they could be on the table. With both sides digging in their heels, attention now shifts to whether this turns into a full-blown trade standoff or forces a diplomatic reset. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has slammed the Trump administration's tariff hike on India, calling it a double standard. He pointed out that the U.S. itself imports Russian resources like uranium and palladium, and has granted China a 90-day break, despite Beijing buying far more Russian oil than India. Calling the move unfriendly and unjust, Tharoor warned that India may now face growing domestic pressure to respond with reciprocal tariffs and begin rethinking its trade priorities altogether.
Palladium, there are various things they're importing from Russia. But there is unfortunately a certain double standard involved. They have given the Chinese a 90-day break, but the Chinese are importing far more Russian oil than we are. So clearly this has not been a particularly friendly gesture from a country we thought was well disposed towards us, our administration that we thought was well disposed. Very clearly we have to act accordingly, and we will have to learn our lessons from this experience. I think there is certainly a likelihood there will be some pressure within India now to impose comparable reciprocal tariffs on American exports to India. So I think we're going to have to really start looking at other trading partners much more in these circumstances. We engage with all countries. We keep open lines of communication to all countries. Frankly, we were importing goods from China soon after they killed 20 of our soldiers. So it's not as if we have shut down relations with anybody. We are a country that believes in having multiple relations with multiple nations and partners. So I don't think that is going to change, but the emphasis, the opportunities, the degree of involvement, etc., will all be affected by an unfriendly development like this, certainly.